Hello everybody, it's me, Max Farrell from DEXFXMarkets.com. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up a couple quick tools that we're going to be using. There is several different tools that we're going to be using, and they can be found on the left side under this toolbar, as well as on the right side in this top little box up here to the right, the watch list and details. But we're going to focus primarily on the ones here on the left first. Now, before we get started setting up the tools, maybe the way that you like to look at things, whether it's a white background or a black background or what have you, can be offset. First off, there's a polarization that you can use, either white or black here at this level. If you come up to your three little lines up here at the top left-hand corner, you'll come down and you'll see dark color theme. Click on that, it'll immediately click it over, and this will be the standard offset here. How do you change the colors and other values here? Well, simply go to any chart and right click and come down and hit settings. This will give you a full descriptive of from the way that the body of the candles look to the status lines, the scales, the appearance is a big one. The background can be changed to all different colors, that kind of stuff. So let me see if I can get it back. There you go. But there's a lot of opportunity you have. Now, if you get messed up and you set something in something bad or what have you, you can come back here and just apply defaults, and it'll kick everything back the way it was when you first started. But if you find something you really love, of course, come down and hit Save As, and you can name your theme however you like it. I could do the other one called Pumpkin Spice if I wanted to put orange in the back or what have you. Okay, so I like using a dark theme. I have a bad eye, and the white sort of plays on that eye just a little bit, so I like to have it that way. All right, so now let's talk about what tools to be able to use. Well, the strategies that we're going to be using require us to kind of use a couple tools. One is the line tool. And when you click on here on the left on the line tool, you'll see what we're going to be using is the trend line. And why the trend line? Well, because I could draw a straight line with it. Straight line. Well, actually, it's very difficult to draw a straight line sometimes. So I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to hold shift down. So I'm going to select the thing here again, and I'm going to go to move it, and it's going to give me a straight line. If I go to the trend line again, I can just draw a straight line if I'm holding shift. Okay. If I want to duplicate that line, I can click on the line and I can hold control down and just move. Or I can, if the anchor points are visible, I can hit control or control C, and that'll copy, and then control V, which will place an alternate copy down. If I want to get rid of any of these lines, I can just make sure that the anchor points are saved and hit delete. And delete. Now, be wary. If you hit delete and this happens, oh, all my stuff came off here. You can either go to your computer and go Control Z, and that'll bring everything back to the very last thing that you did. So here I did a delete, and then all of a sudden now it's all back. Now, if you do happen to delete everything from the way that your template is, right click, go to settings, go to template, and reload your template again, and that'll get it back. Or if you've messed something up and you want to go back to defaults like we talked about earlier. Now, these lines all have certain parameters to them that you can set, and if you click on a line, you'll see the parameters that are instantly set for that particular color. I can change that one to red or green. But the last variable that was set will always be what's set the next time. See, so something like that. So if you wanted two different colors there, you would simply have to go in and change it. Now, to set these as a default, you have to go into the settings, of course, of that particular bar. Okay, you can set the thickness. You can set any particular text that goes with that. Just about anything. And then again, set it as a default or set it as a template, save as, and set the template. We'll show you how to do that with our gain box later on. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these lines. Okay. Now, I like to have my lines, and I hate always have to go over to the left and then hunt everything out. And there's some places that have multiple things, like the paintbrush that I want to have, or a rectangle, that kind of stuff. But I want to show you what a little trick here is. You know, on the left-hand side, you'll click on the box, but you'll see a little arrow to the right. We'll see trend line, and then we'll see a little star there, add to favorites. And I'm going to do that. And what that does is that it puts, not a line on your chest, but you'll see a little box here. And then when you hover over the left-hand side, you'll see a little fist that you can grab and you can drag it around. Now, this is my favorites box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tools in here that I really am going to be using. I'm going to use the trend line. I'm going to use a gain box. And in that gain box, okay, I'm going to make it a little star right there. Okay. I'm also going to use my paintbrush tool sometimes. So I'm going to star that as well. And I'm going to use text every once in a while. Now, if you're like, Max, I'm not going to use those things. I'm not you. You're using them because you're making videos. No, because I'm going to show you something in future videos about taking a snapshot. So when you're doing something and you're like, you can actually add this, you know, like if you see like you're getting into a trade, you want to set in line down, you want to save this for future or put it on your journal. It's very easy to do. So pretty cool. There's a lot of other things that we can do later on to really get things together. Now, I'm also going to put a regular box on as well. Where that went, there it is. Regular rectangle box as well. Just sometimes I want something without all the extra lines in it. Okay. Now in future videos, we're going to show you how to set up the other tools that are here on the left. Some of the other things that we use, not commonly, but still there. So, but let's graduate to that. This is a good palette to deal with right now. You're beginning to see how to add defaults, add those things in. On the right-hand side, we're going to go up to where it says watch list and details. And in this part of the video, I want to show you quickly how to set this. Now, you may not, when you first start up, you might see all of the other symbols that are in there. If I go to watch lists and I go to, let's just say, what's that watch list? This is the way you might see it when you first get here, right? You might see it in this fashion. There might be a whole bunch of stuff here, and you may not have access to being able to make a new watch list if you're using a free system. So you can go ahead and delete by hitting the X here, all these little buggers here, and that'll get rid of everything in there. Or if you do have a paid system, you can actually make a new list, okay? But in this list, we're just going to come up here since it's empty now, and I'm going to add in just the pairs that I know I'm going to use. Audi USD, you got to use the full version symbol there. We're going to use FXCM, and that's going to put it there. I like to do them that they're, and there's the Euro USD, FXCM. I'm going to grab that one. Then I'm also going to grab Great Britain Pound USD. I'm going to Euro JPY. I also like to use the USD JPY. And these are the top 5 pairs, if you notice, that are in DEX that play all day long. The other 5 pairs of secondary pairs I don't necessarily use, but you can put them in as well. This way, the cool thing about this is that even though that we're on the Audi USD and all my stuff is set up for it, I don't have to now go to other things to do that, right? To others to set. So I could just come down to Euro USD and there it is. Great Britain Pound, and there's my setup. Now, the other cool thing is that if I do make a box, let's say I put a gain box down and I go to Euro USD, it's not there, but yeah, I go back to Audi USD, it's there. So it's set in stone for you. Now you can move it around and do all those things. I would get used to using your tools and how to figure everything out, how to move the boxes around. And don't worry, if you ever get jammed up, like you can't figure it out, don't spend a million days trying to figure it out. Give us a call. Set up a time in Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, you'll find out soon in future videos. But give us a call and let us help you get things set. That's what we're here for. All right. So that's just a quick setup on some of the tools. There's some other fascinating tips and tricks we'll be doing later, but this should get you started. In the future videos, we're going to start talking about the structure and the strategy of what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be trading. I'm Max Farrow. This is DEX FX Markets. We'll see you next time. And as always, trade well.